Hey, it's your girl Katrina Marie here, and I get asked all the time, Katrina, how do I start an online business while working a 9 to 5? So if that is the question you've been asking yourself and you've been a little impatient or maybe a lot impatient through the process and haven't been able to really embrace the journey and feeling even a little bit frustrated because you know it's possible and you see everyone else out there seemingly successful and making the process through transitioning look seamless. Well, listen, you have every right to feel that way, but I want to show you today exactly what's possible for you. So what I'll be doing is taking you through a 3-part series, okay? So today I'll be offering you one of 3 tips of exactly what you need to do so that you can be crystal clear in exactly not just what you need to do, but how to actually do it. So be sure to stay tuned and let's go. Hey there, Visionette. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So glad you stopped by. My name is Katrina Marie. I'm a career transition coach and startup business expert, and I help high-achieving powerhouse women exit a corporate career that no longer serves them to start, sustain, and scale a successful online service-based business that's in alignment with their passion and purpose. So if you're ready to share your gifts with the world and turn your dream life into your reality, without sacrificing your sanity or compromising your happiness, then you are definitely a boss chick and you have come to the right place. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell. I release new videos every week and I don't want you to miss a single episode. So when I started this business about 6 years ago now, your girl was doing the most, okay? I was in a full-time relationship, making my best effort to hold down a marriage, and actually working a very demanding full-time leadership role. And in between job losses, I was doing the hustle thing, right? The side hustle thing as a nurse. So I was working some nursing side hustles to recoup my losses and running a business full time, okay? Not to mention everything else that came up as far as the life challenges that continue to show up. And I always say life is the thing that happens when you're making plans. Well, let me tell you, life was happening left and right, hitting me below the belt, unexpected turns and curves and all the things, and I really was doing the most. So when I say a girl knows a thing or two about how to get started in business in the online space, even though it seemed like at the time it was going to be all peaches and creams and an easy walk through the park, it ended up being a very steep learning curve. But I want to save you the headache and the hassle of all the things that I went through while I was holding down, again, a relationship, a full-time job, and working this business full-time for 2 years and not making 1 red cent. Okay, maybe a few dimes, okay, a couple of dollars. Some of those dollars I wanted to give back because I wasn't working with the right clients. So I want to discuss with you today and give you some tips, tidbits, and information that's going to be useful for you to have and just add some value so that you know exactly not only what to do, but how to go about making this thing happen without the hustle and bustle, right? So what we don't want to do is add any frustration, headache, or hassle to our already busy lives, right? Our already demanding roles. And we're already starved for time, so we definitely don't want to add too much more to our plate. So I want to simplify matters for you and take you through a very simple process of exactly 3 simple solutions that you can incorporate right now today to get started in your business and build your business on the side. So when I started this business 6 years ago, I was super excited, right? Like over the moon excited because I was so ready, so over the hustle and bustle, the corporate grind, and working for somebody else. I was just very, very ready to start my own business. And I felt like it's going to be easy. Like, how hard can it be? Besides, I'm well educated. I have 3 degrees, and I was, tooting my own horn about all of the accolades that I had and, the degrees and the educational background. And nobody in this business, let me just tell you right now, gives a damn about all of that. Nobody cares, okay? But it was a lot going on, and it wasn't as easy as I expected it to be. I wish at the time I had someone like myself talking to me right now like I am with you to say, listen, this is what you've got to do and this is how you've got to go about it. Because if you don't do these things, then let me tell you what a headache and a hassle this business is going to bring. So it seemed like it was going to be easy because I thought I had what it took, and I did, but I didn't know what I didn't know. That just is really the bottom line, and that's always the truth. We just don't know what we don't know, right? So at the time I was starting a business, I was also trying to maintain my relationship, which, by the way, was failing horribly at the time. We were trying to keep that together. I was trying to hold down my household. I was working a full-time leadership position as a regional director of operations in the interim, and then working in a heavy management position that required a lot of my time, attention, and energy. And it was really just too much while I was working a full-time job and also running a business full-time, okay? And all the hats that go with each of those categories of things I just listed. So I want to help relieve you of some of the undue burden and stress that I felt at the time, because it really won't feel worth it if you're going through all of that, and you can't embrace the journey while you're going through those kinds of pains, right? So if you're going through any of what I just described right now, listen, I feel your pain. So I want to offer you 3 tips that's going to really supply you with the knowledge you need on not only how to succeed in your business, but what exactly you should be working on and why it matters. Because for me, I need to know the rationale behind why I'm doing what I'm doing, because then that puts things into perspective for me so that I know exactly the why, not just the how, right? Or the what, but then the how to go about it. So that's what we're going to get into next, okay? So let's jump right into the tip for today. Tip number 1, here's what I want you to do first. I want you to consider using your employer as your investor. Yes, that is such an eye-opener for so many of the people that we speak with and teach this to, and our clients that we work with. But why is this important? Well, as a newbie entrepreneur, you're more than likely going to be starting your business on a shoestring budget. Am I right or am I right? Because you don't necessarily have, even if you have the money saved up, it may not be the amount of money you anticipated spending. Because when we're first starting out in business, we don't realize that the amount it's going to require to actually do everything that's necessary to get up and running and to really operate like a true business is not necessarily a lot of money, but it definitely will be more than you may have considered. So while you do have a job, a steady income flowing in, and more than likely in the beginning, you'll be cash poor in your business, right? Because it's going to require you to do a lot of work and to take some time to get to a place of turning a profit. You will not see in the first year or the second year or necessarily even past the 3rd year or up until the 3rd year before you'll actually start to see revenue, okay? Or maybe you'll start generating revenue in your 1st or 2nd year. However, it doesn't mean that you will turn a profit, meaning revenue and profit are 2 different things, okay? Revenue means that's the money you make. Profit is the money you keep. So after it's all said and done, yes, you may be making revenue in your business, but it may not be very much, and you should be, okay? Operative word, should be investing the money you do make back into your business so that you can grow. You'll want to have a team, right, that's helping you, and you'll want to invest in technology. So so automation and delegation, as I said in my previous video, will be your best friends and critical to your success, because right now, while you're working a full-time job, and if you're anything like I was, a demanding position, you will not have the time, right? You may not necessarily know all the technology, and you may not yet have a team. So guess who's doing all the things and wearing all the hats? That would be you, right? So because you're starved for time in this instance, you want to make sure that you are utilizing your employer as your investor, because this is how you're going to level up very quickly. Meaning the money that you make in your job is a steady stream of income that you don't have to worry about. It's helping you maintain your livelihood, but also funding your dream business. So that said, you want to start stacking up the cash, okay? Taking that money and allotting a certain dollar amount, putting that aside, that's specifically dedicated for your business. Okay, so that will mean things like investing into hiring help. Maybe in the beginning, it's just going to be an assistant, a virtual assistant, or somebody you can actually have working side by side with you, or that's somebody that may be easily accessible to you, that is local, that you can depend on to do some of the time-consuming, tedious tasks that are draining, right? That you don't have the time for. Because what you want to have happen initially is for you to delegate those responsibilities, the social media stuff, right? And the admin things and all of the technology and things of that nature. The things that you are not good at and don't have the time for, or don't even understand the how to. You don't want to be bothered with those things. So those are the first things that you want to outsource to someone, or to delegate to someone who actually is good at it, right? Someone who can take those responsibilities off of your plate so you can focus on the high income generating activities. In fact, any income producing activities at this point will do, right? So all of the social media posting that you'll need to do for brand awareness, yes, it has to be done so people know you exist, but those are just the breadcrumbs leading to what you really are wanting them to buy into, right? So while somebody else can take that off your hands, then you can be focused on the work of the CEO. The other thing that you'll want to invest in is technology. So you'll need to set up a solid structure, right? A good framework, a solid foundation from which to build your business. So you don't want to start off on a shaky foundation, right? You don't want to start off on rocky roads or quicksand, right? Because you'll sink very fast if you do that. You want to have a solid foundation that you can build your business on, and that means that you will not only need a team in place, or at least, like I said, an assistant, but you'll also want to consider technology that will help you do the work, that you can be your best self and focus on the things that you need to master as a CEO, the thing you are most skilled at as a coach or consultant or whatever service industry provider you are, right? That's what you want to focus mastering. That in and of itself is a lot of work. So pass off the things that you really don't need to be bogged down with to your team or your assistant, and also employing technology was going to be really where it's at. So whatever systems you can put in place, you want to start creating your SOP, right? Your standard operation procedures. You want to start documenting those processes, getting policies and procedures in place. So those are the kinds of things you can hand off to your virtual assistant or your local assistant, whomever you so choose. And the kinds of systems you want to put in place will depend heavily on, how you're structuring your business. But in the online space, it's such a standard procedure to do things in a particular way and in a particular order. So you'll want to have things in place like your CRM, right? Your customer relations management system, usually one that's all-inclusive, right? Something that's robust so that you're not piecemealing all these different systems together to manage your customer relations. So that will be one of the priority goals you'll have, is to really do your research and invest in, figure out what's going to work best for you, because there are a lot of systems out there, and decide based on your budget and based on what you need right now, how you can purchase or invest in a really robust CRM that's going to be helping you run operations efficiently and effectively in your business. Okay? Now, the reason why a CRM is one of the first things you want to invest in, and why that will be so helpful to you, is because that's like hiring an inexpensive employee, right? So if you purchase or invest in the right tools in the beginning, so again, you need to do your research first to determine what that means for you. There are many options out there. So do your due diligence first, okay? It's necessary to do your homework so you don't make any impulsive buying decisions, but rather one that's going to be smart, so that again, you have a system that's doing all the things that you need for it to do right now. A CRM doesn't just manage your customer relations in the sense that, customer service excellence. Yes, that's another thing, but the reason why it offers customer service excellence is because the analytics within that are housed within the CRM is going to be critical to you measuring metrics, because data tells us a story, right? Data helps us to determine what's actually going well and what isn't, and what needs to be fixed in the process of our lead generation, right? So our sales funnels, our landing pages, and our email marketing, and all of the things that are necessary, again, all wrapped up into one system. So make sure that if you're not really sure exactly, where you should invest your financials first, or where you should pull the dollars from, and what exactly you should consider investing in up front, that will be one of the things that will help you tremendously. Trust me, I wish we had done that many, many moons ago when we first started. But again, we didn't have anyone share this information back then that we are now sharing with you today. Okay? So let that be something you consider. The other reason why it will be so important for you to utilize your employer as your investor is because when you are first starting out, you won't have easy access to venture capital. Why? Because you're brand new. Why? You don't have any credit worthiness yet, right? You haven't built up a portfolio yet. They don't know you from Adam. If you aren't willing to put skin in the game and invest in yourself first, you're not going to find someone else, at least within the first 1 to 3 years time frame, to invest in you. So you will be the one investing in you. Again, it's very easy to start a business on a shoestring budget, or give or take, maybe a little more than that. Again, more than what you may have anticipated initially, but it will be necessary for you to be the primary investor in the beginning stages. So the money that you're making from your employer, again, a certain dollar amount after all expenses are paid that you need to maintain your livelihood, meaning your personal expenses. How much can you take to distribute or allot towards your building your business while you're working? That's going to be, again, super important. So yes, once you actually have been in business for a while, you're trustworthy, you've proven yourself, you have that credit worthiness, they see that you've put in a certain dollar amount, lots of money by then into your business, they will start to consider these things. And then at that time, absolutely, you will be able to build yourself up to a point of getting business credit even, so that now you're using other people's money to fund your dream business as opposed to your own. But right now, your personal funds are going to be tied to your dream business. So it's going to be very key to your success to utilize your employer right now. Again, while you have a full-time job, that money should be helping you to build your business the right way the first time before you move into the next steps, right? The other reason why you want to utilize your employer as your investor is because right now, while you have a job, you are in control of your destiny and your destination, right? But at any moment, that can change for you. At any moment, your employer can let you go. And then you're mostly concerned about how to get money to maintain your livelihood, right? How to continue to provide for your family. How are you going to keep the lights on? How are you going to keep the roof over your head? How are you going to pay your bills and keep food in the refrigerator, right? That's what you're going to have to consider at the time. So now your focus will be different. You will be distracted and end up shifting your thoughts on how am I going to take care of myself and my family now that I'm in a predicament that I was not prepared for. So don't allow your employer to flip your world upside down. Listen, I was in that very predicament. While the 6 years I was building this business, okay, during that duration of time, I had been laid off, terminated, fired, booted, kicked to the curb, you name it. It happened to me unexpectedly more times than I could count, and it continued to set me back. Did I end up winning in the end? Yes, because I persevered, right? Because I was deliberate, I was determined, I was disciplined, and I was motivated always to take inspired action every day, no matter what. But not everybody has that type of stamina or endurance or patience or energy or willingness to stay the course, right? And I did. I kept going despite the uphill battles and despite the challenges I was faced with. And no matter how much I was fearing what could potentially happen if things didn't jump off the way I had planned with regard to this business, right? I was going to make it happen no matter the cost. So if that isn't you, then, and even if it is, you still don't want to be in that sort of predicament, right? So if that's your circumstance right now, then I know you can feel the pain. I certainly remember it like it was yesterday. But if it's not you right now, then that means you have the opportunity to stay in the driver's seat, and that's where you want to be. So should the time come where your employer hands you the pink slip, gives you the boot, kicks you to the curb and all the things, you will be well prepared because you stashed the cash, right? But you also want to be in a better position than that. You want to make sure that you're giving them your notice, not the other way around. So the best way to do this, right, ladies, is to make sure that you are using the money that you make from your employer right now to fund your dream business. So should the time come, or when the time comes, because we're hoping for the day soon, right? If we do this thing right, to set ourselves up for a come up, not a setback. So if you're well prepared right now and you're investing in your business with the things that matter right now the most, the things that are most important to move you forward, right, to help you make progress, those are the things you should be investing in. Then you will be well prepared. So it won't matter if your employer comes to you and says, you know what, we're going to have to let you go for whatever the reason is. Or if it's time for you to then let your employer know, it's time for me to go, I gotta go, I'm ready to go, you will be in a better position for it. So listen, if you're feeling this and you're loving these tips and you want more of where that came from, then I want to invite you to our webinar. Listen, this is a webinar that is backed by popular demand. It is called 7 Simple Steps to Start Your Dream Business while working your 9 to 5. So it's right in time for you to register right now today. The link is here in the description. I want you to tell me what part of this message today resonated with you. What do you find, relevant to what you're going through right now? now, what do you find relatable to what you're experiencing in this moment of time, right? In your life and in your business. Drop me some comments below. I'd love to hear from you. But definitely make sure that you sign up for our webinar, because we are dropping 7 tips plus some additional key strategies and some success tips, okay, that other industry leaders are utilizing to win in this game, including yours truly. So if you really want to level up, okay, to your next level, like seriously, girl, go ahead right now. Don't wait, don't procrastinate, don't hesitate, and definitely don't wait for it to be too late. Sign up for the webinar today. All right, so if you're feeling me on this channel and you are like, wow, she is really giving real, relatable, and relevant topics. She's talking about the things I want to know about, and you have specific questions that you want answered, things you want me to address. You know, if you have some comments and feedback to share, keep it constructive, right? Make sure that you keep it positive. That's my motto here, but I definitely welcome that. I am willing to have the conversation with you. Again, I want to make sure you're gaining all the value you need. I want to keep you coming back to consuming more of my content. So let's go ahead and establish this relationship between us right now, okay? So if you have some questions that you want answered or anything at all that you want to know more about, I am more than happy to do some follow-up videos for you specific to whatever your needs are that pertain to what you're going through right now, okay? But I only drop videos every single week, okay? So if you cannot wait for my follow-up videos to this particular series, you'll definitely want to connect with me on social. So connect with me on the gram. You can find the link below in the description. You can also find it in the banner, right? So make sure that you follow me. I'm on all things social media. Now, if you have not listened to any of the rooms I've moderated lately, I am joining some of my most esteemed colleagues on Clubhouse. So and we're talking everything startups and scaling your business. So if you are challenged right now with how to get started or how to scale your business, you'll definitely want to jump in one of those rooms. So definitely connect with me on Clubhouse, okay? You can find me on the gram and in Clubhouse at One spelled out, O-N-E, One Shared Vision, okay? So that's going to be exciting. And also, join us in our Facebook community. Listen, this is where it's all going down. We are having deeper conversations in the Facebook community. It is called the C-Suite Movement. And listen, we are giving so many great tips and strategies and practical solutions and, you know, talking real talk and diving deeper into what is really going on in the background, right, of our homes, our households, and what's really hindering our progress that goes well beyond our careers and our business. So we basically are talking about the holistic approach, because that's the method we teach by. We want to make sure we are addressing you holistically, because everything that you're experiencing right now that either impedes upon your success, causes any failure in any aspect of your life or business, really starts with the inner you, right? What's really going on behind closed doors and what's going on within your soul and what's happening up here. So we do a lot of mindset talk, but we are addressing, again, every aspect of your life. So you'll definitely want to join our Facebook community. It is an amazing, supportive group of like-minded women. That is where we get together and congregate and just have a lot of fun, okay? So that is where it's all going down. So glad you tuned in today. I'm going to tune out. Be sure to share this message out to someone who inevitably needs to hear it, right? Listen, I'm so happy you're here. Keep coming back for more. Be sure to check out the next video where I am going to give you more goods for part 2 of this video series. And so, as always, and until next time, ladies, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.